In this lesson, we're going to be talking about stress, how we cope with stress, and how we can find healthier ways to cope with that stress. We all have day-to-day stressors that'll continue to occur throughout our lives. Additionally, we all handle our stress in different ways, which is dependent on how long the stress has been going on, how long you expect the stress to continue, and how many times in your life you've experienced the same type of stress. You can also be influenced by how many times in your life you've experienced other types of stress, how you've learned to cope with that stress, and what resources are available for you for handling the stress. We will continue to have day-to-day stressors, even in recovery. So by being able to identify what your stressors are and knowing which ones are most likely to overwhelm you, you can eventually develop effective coping strategies that'll make you less vulnerable to relapse. Make sure to consider what causes you stress in your home, in your family situations, in your friendships, at work or at school. What causes stress when it comes to your health or your finances? Now, there are 4 common responses to stress that we all use: fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. No one of these responses are better or worse than the other, and we've probably all used some of the techniques from each of these at different times. The goal is to understand how you respond to stress and to learn how you can calm yourself during stress. This will help you to decide which type of response will be most helpful to you and most effective for the situation. Sometimes the way you respond can help you get through the situation, and at other times, your response can make things worse. Fight responses include feeling or expressing anger or rage, intimidating other people, shaming or criticizing other people, speaking in a condescending way, lashing out verbally or physically, behaving aggressively towards yourself, others, or inanimate objects, treating others with disgust or contempt, defending yourself or others physically when you're attacked but not initiating an attack yourself, speaking up and defending your rights or the rights of others, setting boundaries. Flight responses include running away or quickly leaving a situation, avoiding a situation that might be stressful or dangerous, constantly busying yourself, planning or obsessing over details of a stressful situation, hanging up on the phone in the middle of a heated conversation, abruptly leaving the room mid-conversation or blocking someone's messages, impulsively ending stressful situations such as quitting a job, firing an employee without thinking through the decision, or breaking up with a partner during a conflict, staying away from a place you know is dangerous, staying away from people who have hurt you in the past. Freeze responses include isolating yourself when a situation might involve stress or danger, disconnecting from other people, detaching from your emotions in a situation, feeling numb to any physical or emotional pain in a situation, feeling paralyzed and unable to choose a response. Finally, fawn responses include doing what the other person demands, doing what you think the other person wants, going into people-pleaser mode and saying yes to unreasonable requests so that the person asking won't get angry at you, staying quiet when you disagree in order to avoid a conflict or avoid making a conflict worse. There are pros and cons to each response, and the idea is to learn where you may need to develop some more effective skills. So let's begin by taking a look at your fight response to stress. What situations prompt you to fight in response to stress? When has it been helpful for you to fight in response to stress? Which fight behaviors have helped you? When has it been harmful for you to fight in response to stress? And which fight behaviors have been harmful for you? You'll want to complete these same questions for each of the other stress responses. Now, all people cope with stress in different ways. There's no right or wrong way to cope. It's not as though some of the ways that you respond are wrong and some of the ways are right, meaning you only need to act in the right ways. The goal is to evaluate whether the use of your coping strategies is helping you live the life you want to live, or if it is causing you further harm. In addiction, drinking or using drugs was helpful to manage your stress, but over time, it caused more problems for you than it helped. The point of a coping strategy is to find ones that help you manage your problems, not ones that create more problems. Studying your coping strategies and learning to choose more effective options ensures that you will cope in the most effective way that leads to alleviation of problems rather than addition of problems. The assignment after this lesson can help you begin to identify which coping strategy you're using, what you used it for, and how it worked in the immediate scenario, and then how it worked in the long term. If you start to keep these in mind, journaling about them and writing about them, becoming mindful of what you did, what you used it for, and how it worked, it will inevitably help you identify whether it was an effective strategy or an ineffective strategy. Some helpful coping strategies can be to take long, slow, deep breaths. Count to 6 on the inhale, pause, and count to 8 on the exhale. Your heart rate actually increases when you inhale and slows down when you exhale. Learning to deepen your breath naturally calms the body. You should repeat this 3 to 5 times. You can also choose to take a yoga class or find a YouTube video to guide you through some gentle yoga poses. Yin yoga and restorative yoga are especially soothing. You can listen to the guided meditation geared towards healing, stress, and trauma. If you go to your portal, you can actually find guided meditations, which are quite helpful. It can be helpful to develop a daily soothing ritual. It can be as simple as taking 5 minutes each morning to stretch and relax, or doing a moving meditation like Tai Chi. You can talk to a therapist who can help you process your emotions and heal. You can write in a journal about your strengths. You can start a daily gratitude practice where every day you write down 3 things that went well and that you appreciate. You can join a support group to connect with others who have struggled with something similar. We as humans can often use more time for ourselves to practice focusing on things that are positive rather than always narrowing in on the negative. In our next lesson, we're going to talk about lifestyle changes that can help you stay sober. Thank you for choosing the Recovery Village. If you are a loved one or struggling with mental health or substance abuse and would like to find out more about the programs we offer, please reach out to us directly at 855-387-3291.